Here's how to use our tabletop folding fixtures to make hand folding the sustainable produce containers go a little faster. There are 3 sizes: small for the half pint and square pints, medium for the middle sizes, and large for the 2 and 3 quart. Plus, there's a riser for the taller sizes. Each base has a cavity and registration holes, 4 registration pegs, and a plunger. Let's look at how to use the small one. The cavity of the base should be closest to you. Put 2 of the 4 pegs into the bottom registration holes. These holes are deeper than the other ones, and you can leave them in since they're not going to change. The top holes are for lining up the lids of the different sizes. For the half pint, put the other 2 pegs in the holes closest to you where there's a H or HP marking the half pint. Now let's fold a box. On these reversible containers, the creases are designed for folding the craft brown side in, but it is easier to stamp on this craft side, so you can also fold it the opposite way. To make sure it's centered over the cavity, look for the cavity to show through evenly on both sides, and make sure the container is tight against the bottom pegs. Center the plunger inside the container's bottom edges. As you push the plunger down, all 4 slots should open, and the pointy tips should start entering the slots. Take the plunger out, and now finish assembling the Kliklok sides by squeezing the front corners in with your fingers towards the center, and with your thumbs push down. Do the same in the back, squeezing in and down until you see and hear the tips click as they lock inside the slots and won't come out. Kliklok. Squeeze as you lift out and confirm the tips are locked. Now you're ready to fill it or nest it into stacks. To fold either of the square pints, move the pegs to the holes farthest from you, where there's an S or SP. On the craft boxes, the rough side is supposed to be the inside of the box, so place this side up. Center the container by looking for the gaps, making sure all 4 tips enter all 4 slots as you push. Remove the plunger and finish folding the corners in and down with your thumbs. And then squeeze after you lift out. For the size that you fold the most of, you may want to even mark an outline of the base to help you remember how to use it next season. Next, with the medium jig, you can fold the 4 middle sizes: the low profile pint, the 1.5 pint, both of the quarts, and the tall quart. To use it, place the fixture so the cavity is closest to you and install the lower registration pegs that you can then leave in. The top holes closest to you are for the low profile pint, and they should be marked with an L or LPP. Let's fold a container. With these reversible containers, they're meant to fold with the craft side in, but you may want to fold it white side in to reflect more light on your produce. To make sure they're perfectly positioned in the cavity, look for the cavity to show equally on both sides, and pull the container tight against the bottom pegs. Center the plunger between the bottom lines and push down. Watch that all 4 slots open and that the pointy tips enter the slots. Remove the plunger and finish folding by squeezing the front corners in and down with your thumbs, and in and down. In the back, do the same, in and down, and then squeeze as you pull it out, and now you're ready to fill it or stack it. Now the next holes are for folding the 1.5 pint, and it operates the same way. The ones above them are for both the quart and the craft and the reversible. Now remember, with the craft on both sides, the smooth side is the one you want to be the outside. This fixture can also fold the tall quart, and you'll notice the tall quart has 2 sets of slots on either side. For this size, we want to move the registration pegs to the top outer holes. Now you can fold this as is, but it's so much easier with you also get the riser, which you do get with the complete set. Now this riser raises up the base to better fold these big tall sizes. It also has a storage area with 4 pegs that I've already got in, and poppers for the vents. Take the poppers out, and you're going to push them into the medium plunger. They should fit snugly, and you want them to be facing outward. Put the pegs in there and attach the top like I did. Okay, so everything's lined up. and make sure it covers up the storage area. Now, place the tall quart on the jig and make sure you got space. And you may have to tilt the plunger left to right as you push down to make sure the poppers push out there. It is a lot of cardboard. And then you finish folding on the front corners and in and down on the back. Now with this size, you may sometimes have to reach in and pull a tip all the way through. The clay coating of the reversible can make it kind of stiff and a little more challenging to fold, especially with these big sizes. Finally, the large folding fixture can help fold the 2-quart or the 3-quart. To only fold 2 quarts, you don't really need the riser, but it can help. Let's try it without first, though. I've already put the bottom registration pegs in, and that you could leave in, and the 2-quart pegs in their holes. Here's your 2-quart box. The reversible material is designed to be folded with the clay-coated side out, but you may like the natural look of the brown to be on the outside. Place it centered so you can see equal cavity space on either side, and be sure to center the plunger with equal space on the top and the bottom, because this plunger is a little smaller for the 2-quart in order to also work for the 3-quart. As you're pushing down, make sure the slots are opening and the tips are going in to the slots. Remove the plunger and finish folding. That's why it's better with the riser. And in and down with your thumbs, and now you've got the Kliklok sides in. Now for the 3-quart, you definitely need the riser. I've got another one here, and the pegs are all installed except this one. And you want to grab the poppers out of the storage area, match up the holes, and you want to face these guys out. Put the 4 of them in. Oops. Okay, so now you're going to put the 3-quart box on. Oops, move these to the 3-quart holes. Now, as you push down, make sure you got it centered. You may have to rock it back and forth. So that the tips come inside the box. So pull out the plunger. Finish folding by pushing in and down on the back corners and the front corners. And if any tips are not completely locking inside, you may have to pull them in by hand, just because this is a lot of cardboard to move, so that can happen. Other notes. For fixtures and plungers made out of this medium density fiberboard, you need to keep them dry, keep them out of the sun, and keep them stored flat so they don't warp. Since the plungers touch the inside of the boxes, they have been sealed with a food-safe shellac or mineral oil. If you do need to clean them, just wipe them off with a cloth and a mild cleaning agent. To store the whole set, first remove the large bases registration pegs, which you may need pliers, and any poppers from the plungers, and put those in the storage area. You're going to stack this large one on top of the riser, and you're going to set the medium jig on top of that, and then put the plunger in there. And lastly, flip and reverse the small jig to lock it in place. And there you go. Hope these folding fixtures help you out, and thank you so much for your business. Happy growing.